What's up, guys? I have a Drytron deck profile here for y'all. I know it's more of a meta deck and this channel doesn't usually have meta decks posted, but I've been enjoying this deck a lot. Been playing it since it released, and I've just been enjoying it, so I figured I'd throw a profile up for y'all if anybody's interested. I know that it's kind of slated to get hit on the next ban list, but I'll probably still be playing it after that because I just like alpha and the actual Drytron monsters enough to sit through the struggle. Yeah, intro's out of the way. Let's get into the deck profile. 3 alpha. He's the main starter of the deck. Tributes a Drytron or a ritual and searches another ritual and specials himself, which is just insane. Triple Zeta, the second best one in the deck. She tributes a Drytron or ritual. All Drytrons tribute Drytrons or rituals. Then special themselves and get secondary effects. So she searches the ritual spell. Those are the 2 best ones in the deck, is Alpha and Zeta. A close third is Gamma. Whenever he tributes a card, he specials himself into Drytron from Grave. So he's real nice, just to go into further link plays and stuff like that. 1 Delta. Because of Prosperity, you can't really draw off him all the time, so that's why I cut him down to 1. And then I play 1 Beta. Beta is super situational, but it's a 10th name in the deck, and if they do run DD Crow, your opponent does run DD Crow, you can just toss back the Drytron that they throw from the banish back into grave, which just is situational, it can come up. Next, the Fairy Package, which is Triple Benton, kind of the heart and soul of the deck right now. She just gives you infinite resources, and is just really good all around. Then 1 Herald of Ultimateness. He's one of the boss monsters in the deck. Because of Ben 10, you end up with a bunch of fairies in hand that you can pitch for him to just have 4 or 5 negates on your opponent's turn, which is just super nice. Triple Orange Light. It's the main card you're searching off of Benton to pitch off Ultimateness outside of Ava, who, whenever he sends to grave, he banishes 2 fairies from grave and then searches 2 level 2 or levers. So you always want to pitch an Orange Light. Like if you have Ultimateness up, you want to pitch an Orange Light first, then Ava, and keep a second fairy in hand to pitch to protect the Ava search. So that way you always have your 2, and then you'll search an Orange Light and a Cyber Petite off of Ava to have 2 more negates. Then we have the Manju. He's the current normal summon. Once the Herald of Divine Light, I think is her name, comes out, it'll swap over to that and we'll probably cut the Manju, but until that time, Manju's the best normal summon. Then we got 1 Valkyria. She's just a level 4 fairy extender. I value Dweller super highly, so I usually try to force Dweller onto boards whenever I know it's going to be relevant. Because at my locals we have a lot of Dino, we have a lot of Shaddolls, so just having Dweller on board just sets you up super well. 1 Dawn Knight. He's a real hard brick. He sucks to draw, but you have to play him right now because he extends your plays through Union Carrier, which is a staple in the deck right now. And it probably will be, even once the Xyz comes out, because 2 dumps is better than 1. Now we got the Megalith Package, which is 2 full. This is the heart and soul of it. It adds back Ben 10 from grave on summon, and then you ritual for Ophil, and then Ophil will search you with Bethor for your opponent's turn, that you can use Foal's Effect or Ritual, attributing this in hand to special a second one from deck. And then you can usually get up to 3, sometimes 4 pops off of Bethor. So if you're playing versus a back row deck and they're like, oh cool, he can't negate my stuff, they're all traps. They go into main phase, you go Full Effect, tribute Bethor, special Bethor, pop 3, which is just broken if they can't stop it. Onto the spells. 3 Pot of Prosperity. This card's really insane in this deck. You don't need your entire extra deck, so you can usually afford to banish a good chunk of it. Most of the time, there's so many search cards and filter cards in this deck, you don't have to banish 6. So usually I use it like a duality to just banish 3 cards I know are not going to be on my end board, to dig for my top 3 cards and look for like interaction cards, Call the Haunted, stuff like that, to guarantee my plays go through. And then if you are bricked out, you can still banish 6 and just, you know, look at top 6 to guarantee you find something good. Next, 3 Nova. It's E-Telly. I don't know what else to say about it. It's really insane. 3 Cyber Emergency. It searches all your Drytrons, so it's just 3 more names for all of them. Triple Prep. I've seen a few lists cut this down to 2, but I don't mind going over 40. I typically end on like 42, 43. This list is 43, so if you don't like that, you can cut this down to 2 and just cut an extender, like cut Valkyria out, but I just prefer to play it like that. And then 2 Fafnir. This is just kind of Ash bait, because you always summon, or always search Nova unless you already have Nova, because it's a hard once per turn. You end up searching Medionis, which is the ritual spell of the deck. Really broken ritual spell, it's super nice. Yeah, and then the 1 Call on it, or Call the Grave. Yeah, good card. Stop Stroll. 1 Appaloosa, Link 4, and his bunch of negates. Usually end on with IP, and then once you use full effect, some of the Bethor that are kind of just dead on board, you can just turn into the Appaloosa if you need more interactions, which is just handy. Access code. Popping cards without them being able to respond is super nice, and Boral Sword, being able to OTK out of nowhere is super nice. 1 Ningirsu, non-targeting removal on things like Dragoon, because you can bait out Dragoon Negate super easy in this deck, and then just extend to this and just say, alright, goodbye. 1 Unicorn, mainly used for link climbing into access code. We don't play Natasha anymore, so you don't usually get to steal your opponent's board as much, so you usually use this versus back row decks or with IP to spend cards that you just need off the board. Speaking of that, IP, one of your end board cards, Union Carrier, the main starter in the extra deck that you can just go into to get things rolling with Dawn Knight. 1 Phoenix, it's Phoenix, pops a back row, discards a card, draws a card if it's co-linked. 1 Link Rebo, everything is level 1 that's relevant, like all your Drytrons. 1 Anima. This card's not really used for taking cards anymore. It's usually used up on your turn 1 if you start off with Nova, so you don't, you know, have access to it for your opponent's turn. And most opponents aren't playing around it anymore. That's why Geonator was cut, is because like people just know that like their board is super weak to, you know, being taken. So I just kind of decided to cut it and just stick to better like board break cards and like the and more Link 4s, like the Boral Sword, which I originally wasn't playing a few months ago. Then we got 1 Abyss Dweller. I value this card a lot for my locals. This is kind of a flex spot, but it just hits like almost every meta deck right now, and it's just super nasty. 1 Zeus. He sends everything. It's just good. If you reboot your opponent and then make this, it's just game. 1 Downard for your Nightingale and Fucho. Fucho is optional, but again, because there's so many trap decks at my locals, being able to just summon this and say, alright, unaffected, but it's super nice. And then this is, again, the same thing, but like you don't have to detach to protect it. Like if they don't have a defense position monster, and like you can just swing direct with this, because it's basically just Borbo for level 1s. Alright, onto the side deck. We got 1 Vanity's Roller, 1 Beatbuster Drake. When you know you're going first, you can just set up to have Beatbuster Drake equipped to Vanity's Roller, which is game in like 90% of situations. It's more conservative than going like for your full Megalith combo, but if you end on this versus like Zodiac, it's just game. Like there's nothing they can do about that. Versus VW, nothing they can do about it. It's game. Like it's unaffected by Dark Ruler and Droplets and Lightning Storm. That's game. What do they do? Hand Traps, 3 Didicro. It's a super flexible card. It hits a bunch of Eldritch stuff, hits a bunch of VW stuff, hits Drytron real hard. Yeah, it's just super nice. Hits Rogue. 3 Lancia, hits all of the same things except Zoo. So I just wanted 6 cards where I'm just like, alright, I know I'm going second. I can take out a few of my like extenders and just throw in these and just be like, alright, deal with it. Now for the back row decks, I'm 2 Denko Sekka. You don't need your normal summon too much outside of Manju, but if you're playing into like 4 back row, you just need to normal summon this and say, alright, I hope you have Warning or Judgment. Then we have 3 Cosmic Cyclone for back row decks. I have a lot of Shaddoll players at my locals, so having this up for Schism is just more valuable than Lightning Storm at the moment. This card is Lightning Storm if you want to play it there. It's interchangeable. Then we have the 2 Power Worms, Harpies, and Red Reboot. Game. What can I say? Alright guys, this has been Patrick. Check me out on Twitter, NTBYGO. I'll probably be posting deck profiles on here every once in a while and doing live duels with Aaron. We're pretty similar people, so if you like Aaron's style, you'll probably like mine. But yeah, like, subscribe, all that good stuff. Good night.